Essop, I saw in a video you mentioned that Ben Johnson's coach favoured a short to long endurance training model. Could you do a video explaining this more? I'm trying to get my 400 metre time down, but I realise it's not working because my 100 and 200 are so slow. I feel like maybe my training approach is wrong. Oh yeah, short to long. Every man's dream. Now the old model of sprint training is build a fitness foundation in the winter, then come the spring, you start doing the speed work, hit the summer, and you're on the competitions. So if you're doing anything from 60 metres to 400s, you're starting the season with long runs. You know, 2-3 miles, all the way up to like 5 miles, and then after that, you're doing some long interval training. Then, as the winter peters out, you put away the trainers, grab those spikes, and start doing those shorter intervals. And as the summer looms, the intervals get even shorter still, and you blow the cobwebs off the blocks. Now this is just a brief overview, and yeah, of course, many coaches are different, but for a lot of sprinters from yesteryear and quite possibly still today, that's the look of their sprint training program. And you can see the logic because this seemed like a good idea, what with the furious battles in competition. It allowed the nervous system to sort of calm down a bit, prevented burnout. And let's be fair, in a cold country, blasting out top speed sessions on a soggy track in wintry gale force with 2 hats and fingerless mitts ain't that appealing. And this system served many a coach and athlete, and you get enough people going through a system, you're going to find some people who are going to thrive on it. But there was a problem. That's me, always with the problems. You finish your season on the high of a 10.9 second PB in the final race. Fist pumps done, toasts are made, and dreams are dreamt that you're now on your way to the big time. You're a 10-second sprinter. Like a forgetful mathematician, you're in the business of losing fractions now. All you've got to do is misplace a few more pieces at a time, and you're a contender. So you set your goals on a national placing next summer, and with vigour renewed, the first thing you start doing is running slowly. You spend the next 3 months plodding along at a fraction of the speed that you'd finally achieved at the end of your last race of the season. Then after Christmas, Santa's brought you some speed endurance sessions which hurt like hell, and all the time you're having to remind yourself of the mantra, no pain, no gain, which basically comes from bodybuilders who can't run faster than about 30 seconds for 100 metres, so yeah, they're worth listening to. Then 3 months after that, scorched by the hellfires of lactate, you're told that it's speed work time, and so you start feeling a little bit quicker. But of course you do. It's all relative. See, it's been 6 months since you were genuinely quick. That's like going from a mountain bike that had 2 flat tyres on it to pumping the tyres up and now you've got some air in them. Yeah, you can feel quite tasty till a road bike blows past you. But first competition of the year, and in your mind, it's revolution. You're going to tear that track up. Post-race, it rapidly gets recategorised as a dress rehearsal. It's like working really hard and getting 53%. You didn't fail, but you ain't bragging. Your coaching your athlete friends all tell you, hey, it's normal. First race of the season. Don't listen to them, they want to see you fail. They're the competition. You've got to make the decision as to whether your coach is just trying to spin the story. But with this much invested, you buy into that whole sprint alchemy equation thing that competition is going to convert your poor performance into PBs. So you start hunting down comps like you're the Punisher. And every race you hope's the start of your gold rush, where you carve 0.2 of a second off in 5 races, end up with a PB of 9.9 at the end of the season. And for the vast majority of athletes, it never happens. They might run 10.8. More likely that season, they run 11.1. You do the post-mortem, pick over the corpse. Cause of death? Not training hard enough. You blame those 3 vital track sessions that you missed in 8 months. That PB that you didn't quite make in the gym. That long weekend that you went a bit off-piste in deepest, darkest February. You have a parlay with your coach and your athlete colleagues and they concur. Resolve is renewed. And by the way, it dawns on you that if the track had been closed for routine maintenance 3 times, you wouldn't have counted that as a reason. And before you failed the lift, you got the lift before, and that was a PB. And you're actually bettering your track sessions the week after the blowout. And that is a year wasted. Charlie's method was the opposite. You go from short to long. And this works in the micro as well as the macro. If you ran a PB at 10.9 a few weeks before, the break is running the same speed for less distance. Speed's the factor that at bare minimum you're looking to maintain, if not, improve often. Here's a thought. Do you know how you run 10.4 for your first race of the season if your best was 10.9 last year? Be in the shape to run 10.4, having run 10.5 last week in training. The competition's going to give you the edge, and as if by magic, 10.4 is going to appear. And if you run slower in competition than in training, then you know your limiting factor is your psychology. So you can just focus your efforts on working on that. If you're a sprinter, sprint. And as the season goes on and you get fitter, you can sprint for longer. Like, I don't want to get too physiological in these Essop View videos, but if you do repeated short sprints, you will build and improve your anaerobic and your aerobic capacity. Those long runs only improve your aerobic capacity, and they don't improve your neural firing at all because the gait pattern is completely different. If one guy does 10-meter block starts from March onwards, and the other guy's been doing 10-meter block starts all year round, all things being equal, who do you think is going to be faster over the first 10 meters? Now, going over to the 400-meter question, it's the same principle. That's what I mean when I say micro and macro. You've got to look at your limiting factors. If you're a natural speed merchant because your nervous system is wired for that, then you're just trying to add endurance to that speed. It's like taking the best pizza recipe and saying, I want to feed 100 people. You need to get yourself down to wholesalers. It's a volume issue. But if you don't have the speed, which is like the major raw ingredient, then you need to get yourself down the delicatessen. Buy a cookbook. Get your 100-meter time down, and then get your 200-meter time down by training them short to long. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of cries from the 400 guys who are going to say that they tried that. They went to train with the sprint route. Didn't work. But I'm going to ask you, were you using the old sprint model? Because that barely works for the sprinters. It's even less likely to work for you. I think you've got to train short to long endurance. Strength increases week to week. Speed increases month to month. That means that you should be faster in October than you were in September. Effectively, you could get faster 6 times from October to March. And if you did that, do you really think that you wouldn't see a PB in the beginning of the year? I hope this helps. I'd appreciate you busting me a thumbs up, because let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good. Have your say in the comments, babe. And if you like my vibe, please subscribe.